President Tinubu approves new appointments across agencies in the Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Plus, motorists caution against panic fuel buying. This and more on Panorama. I am Nolin Ebel-Ame. Welcome. We begin by informing you that NNPC Retail Limited, a subsidiary of NNPC Limited, says there is no cause for alarm despite the appearance of fuel queues in some parts of Lagos and a few other locations around the country. While attributing visible queues to reduced depot loadout in Apapa, Lagos over a few days, the statement reiterated that the root cause has since been addressed. It assured all Nigerians and motorists that there is ample supply with sufficiency of at least 30 days. The statement urged motorists to desist from panic buying as distribution will soon normalize. More leaders are expressing hope that, despite the current challenging socio-economic situation, Nigerians will soon witness the benefits of measures being taken by the current administration. Former Governor of Nasarawa State, Umaru Almakura, who spoke to State House correspondents after meeting the President, acknowledges that the hard decisions taken so far by the President are necessary to redirect the economy and move the country towards greatness.
A renewed hope agenda as something that will change the scheme of things for the better for this country, especially in the areas of security, economic development, and already we can start seeing how sustainable growth and sustainability is being achieved. If you look at the area of security, you see that a lot of efforts are being made to calm the fears of Nigerians in the economic sector too, and the well-being of Nigerians. I think Nigerians should be patient. I'm sure sooner than later, the vision and policies of this administration will rub positively on Nigerians.
President Bola Tinubu has called for the strengthening of cross-sectoral partnership between Nigeria and the European Union based on the principles of democracy, rule of law and freedom. Receiving a delegation of the EU led by Jutta Urpilainen, EU Commissioner in charge of international partnerships, the President welcomed the signing of 8 financing agreements between Nigeria and the EU under the EU Global Gateway in Nigeria at a separate event earlier in Abuja. President Tinubu, who emphasized the importance of economic cooperation with the EU in the areas of digital education, traditional energy, renewable energy, and broadband access, equally told the visiting delegation that Nigeria's economy was going through several long-lasting reforms to render it capable of pulling millions of Nigerians out of poverty. The EU Commissioner in charge of international partnerships commended Nigeria for playing a pivotal role as a key partner of the EU, not only in politics and economics, but also in shaping the social landscape across the African continent. She said the EU seeks to establish an equal and mutually beneficial partnership through the Global Gateway investment program as a flagship example.
And knowledge in terms of, I would say, high-tech. And that's why, of course, we want to also support your digital transition. We are already doing that through this digital economic package, over 800 million euros, which we actually adopted last year. So we are now working with you regarding 5G, general connectivity, but also this new digital ID system, which is now created by your government. Also, the new area where we see a lot of opportunities is also health. So how we could support you to produce and manufacture medicines and vaccines in Nigeria. This is something which we are now exploring at the moment also with the government.
Under the Global Gateway, there's about euro $300 billion that is available for investments, and 150 billion euro is earmarked for Africa. And both in his role as Nigeria's president and ECOWAS chairman, he assured them that we'll partner to engage and to promote investment, that is the quickest way to ensure that democracy and freedom are enthroned.
In other news, President Bola Tinubu has signed the instrument of ratification of the protocol to the African Charter on Human People's Rights on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in Africa, which was adopted by the 30th Ordinary Session of the Assembly, held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on the 29th day of January 2018. And I quote, "I, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, do hereby formally declare that the Federal Republic of Nigeria accepts the aforementioned protocol and undertakes to faithfully perform and carry out the stipulations therein contained. In witness whereof, I, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, have set my hand and seal of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on this instrument of ratification at Abuja on this 19th day of October in the year 2023. End of quote. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris says Nigeria's foreign policy agenda, known as the Tinubu Doctrine, built on 4 pillars of democracy, demography, diaspora and development, is determined to reinforce Nigeria's position as a leader in Africa. This was at the first Angola and Nigeria Business Forum held in Abuja. Salihu Gwanara reports.
Nigeria and Angola have common destiny as both countries are blessed with enormous natural resources as Africa's leading oil producers. Minister of Information and National Orientation was among key industry players at the inauguration of the Angola and Nigeria Business Council, an initiative, he says, is in line with President Bola Tinubu's vision that African countries forge deeper and stronger connections that allow the continent a bigger and more positions on the global stage.
Africans must be united in our thinking around development, industrialization, trade, job creation, and the place of our continent in the 21st century. Among other things, we are working on signing an MOU on public communication and media exchange with the Embassy of Angola in Nigeria as part of efforts at deepening our relationship. I look forward to this and many more demonstrations of our bilateral alignments. Nigeria is very much keen to support Angola's domestic and foreign policy aspirations and the country's overall development. We expect reciprocity in this regard. Indeed, the progress of one is the progress of all.
Participants agreed that the proposed business partnership will provide an opportunity for more efficiency and productivity to increase wealth and prosperity for both countries. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
In a similar development, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved new appointments in the Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Director General of NTA, Abdul Hamid Dembos, is among those appointed. Ruth Aguele reports.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 8 new chief executive officers for parastatals and agencies under the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, states, for the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Director General Salihu Abdulhamid Dambas, Director General National Orientation Agency, NOA, Lanre Isa Onilu, Director General, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, Dr. Mohammed Bulama, Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Charles Ebuebu, Director General, Voice of Nigeria, VON, Jibrin Baba Ndachi, Director General, Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, Dr. Lekon Fadolapo, Managing Director, CEO, News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, Ali Mohammed Ali, Executive Secretary, CEO, Nigerian Press Council, Dili Ezuga. The President tasked the newly entrusted leadership in these important subsectors to innovate and create new opportunities for Nigerians to leverage upon through the effective reform of these key institutions of government, which function to unify Nigerians, reshape mindsets, and showcase this great nation to the rest of the world. By these directives of the President, the above listed appointments takes immediate effect. Similarly, the President has approved the appointment of Muhammad Abu Ibrahim to serve as the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the National Agricultural Development Fund. The President expects the new leadership at the fund to successfully remove all barriers to efficient access to provincial funding in the sector for proven stakeholders nationwide who will credibly contribute to the renewed hope agenda mandate in the attainment of complete self-sufficiency in local food production and eventual surplus export. By this directive, the appointment takes immediate effect. Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
On the political scene, INEC Chairman Professor Mahamudu Yakubu says all is now set for the Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi governorship elections coming up November 11. The INEC chairman gave the assurance at a meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja while expressing concern over the rising cases of insecurity in the three states.
So far, all non-sensitive materials for the election have been delivered to the three states. While we are leaving no stone unturned in other areas of preparations for the governorship election, the Commission plans to deploy a total of 46,084 regular and ad hoc staff for the election. We have so far accredited 126 national and international organizations, collectively deploying 11,000 observers for the election. Although the portal for media accreditation closes on Tuesday, 24th October 2023, we have received applications from 80 media organizations seeking to deploy 1,203 personnel. As we said repeatedly, we are concerned about the prevailing insecurity and election-related violence in the three states.
If you just joined us, this is Panorama. Let's pause here for a break. Stay with us.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Thank you for staying with us on Panorama. Now, the need to promote boy-child mentorship to equate a balanced society has been stressed as key point to curb abuse of both gender. This was the submission of speakers at the Boy-Child Summit put together by the women community in Abuja. Deborah Balagbobo reports.
I feel this will make a big impact.
And they see boys are more confident than girls.
Yeah, what they said is true. They focus more on the female and leave the male. But they don't know even the male too sometimes can get oppressed.
I feel like they should explain themselves more. And this program, I feel like it should be made more public. Other people should hear of it because it's not limited to only the students that are here. Other people in society need to take this seriously.
The weight placed on the boy child, thereby causing the boy to venture into vices, which portrays him at a bad light. This was part of the focus by speakers at this year's Boy Child Summit in commemoration of the International Day of the Boy Child, with the theme, Re-Engineering Boys to Value.
We want you guys to be better version of the African leaders that we want to see.
Empowered boys are more likely to grow into responsible, supportive, and involve family members and community leaders, fostering a sense of belonging.
Nigeria is a party to the Convention on the Right of the Child, and of course, the government of Nigeria has done very well there by domesticating this convention by way of the Child Right Act 2023.
The underlying cause of all this is that we have not armed our young people with the proper character and values to both challenge the ills as well as serve as a counter to those whose minds have been poisoned with negative values.
About 10 schools were invited to the summit with the hope that the change matter would trickle down to the society. In Abuja, Deborah Balagbubu, NTA News.
On education, the Ministry of Education is going for another routine exercise of producing a roadmap for the sector. To this end, a workshop on developing the roadmap with the theme Education for Renewed Hope Agenda is underway in Abuja. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
Globally, Nigerian education sector is facing a myriad of challenges. Of course, the crisis dates back to decades with successful administrations proposing so many agenda, strategic plans and roadmaps, all with minimal impacts. To crown it all, key players in the sector have converged on Abuja for a workshop to work out modalities on education for renewed hope in line with the present administration's mantra.
Focus on things that we can sooner than later feel its tangible impact. That is the essence of the workshop. It's not just another workshop for emphasis. It's not just another workshop get together where people come, drink tea, felicitate and go away. No. It is a problem-solving workshop. The states, is particularly within the category that is going to be our area of emphasis, they play a major role. Basic education is their terrain. All that we are asking for is for them to do their own part. So that this problem, when it consumes us, which we pray not, nobody is going to be safe. And they are the nearest to the grassroots anyway.
As we have said, we've seen several roadmaps. Some crashing, some going halfway, and all of that. This one we expect to be different for a number of reasons. When we looked at the challenges that the ones before it had, challenges in terms of implementation, and we have factored all these challenges into the process of developing these roadmaps.
The workshop is expected to devise a meaningful and practical policy that will transform the education sector in the next 4 years. Abdullahi Musa Sleja, NTA News.
Similarly, stakeholders within the disability community are collaborating to bring financial support for some students with disabilities. The aim is to provide a more inclusive and equitable educational platform for the students. Gufan Shaji Ugwai reports that this initiative by TAF Africa and Glory Campus Fellowship is to empower individuals with disabilities to reach their full potential, fostering their personal growth and contribution to society by removing the financial barriers that hinders their access to quality education.
Campus Fellowship aims to create a more inclusive and supportive educational environment that allows those students to thrive academically and personally.
Stakeholders here want people of like minds to rally behind the cause in providing an accessible educational environment for students with disabilities so that they can excel in their academic pursuits. Elsewhere, ECOWAS Regional Stabilization Plan, captured in the Vision 2050 agenda, now has a major driving force: a European Union €212.5 million financial support package. The grant is to give bite to the ECOWAS development plan in 7 core areas. Kelvin Onoe reports.
Trade, regional integration, affordable and clean energy, sustainable food systems and security are the major areas the funds will be deployed to keep the ECOWAS Vision 2050 on track. This agreement is coming at a time the EU believes that ECOWAS is operating in a politically challenging times as the regional bloc intensify efforts to stabilize democracy in member states with a potential impact on its development plan, and the EU intervention is an exciting one for the ECOWAS Commission President, Omar Aliou Touré.
I want to thank the European Union on behalf of ECOWAS for the strong support you continue to give to us, not only in the area of development, but also in the area of governance. And as we have seen in Niger, your support is important. We want to reiterate the fact that ECOWAS is not having any problem with the people of Niger. It is the military authorities that have flouted the country's constitution and the provisions of ECOWAS instruments with which ECOWAS has issues. But we don't have problem with our brothers and sisters in Niger, neither in Burkina Faso nor in Mali or Guinea.
I have to say that I am looking forward to seeing our partnership flourish. This will allow us to find common solutions and share best practices also together in the future.
The breakdown of the over €200 million grant shows that the regional support program on pastoral economy has the highest allocation of €60 million. Trade facilitation and free movement of persons components also got considerable amounts. In Abuja, Kelvin Ewonwaye, NTA News.
Still in Abuja, the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, in partnership with relevant stakeholders in Abuja, held a roadshow to showcase the nation's cultural diversity. Gufan Shaji Ugwai reports.
It is a show marking the 2023 World Day for Cultural Diversity and Development. The objective is to create awareness on the importance of culture to national development and the potential of the Nigerian culture and creative sector to support the economy of the nation.
We are showcasing some of the elements of our culture and the creative economy for economic diversification. And these sectors are sectors that could enhance our economy, develop the economy and create jobs.
We are unifying power with this name called Nigeria. So we are supposed to be one in anything we are doing. Unity brings us together.
World Day for Cultural Diversity for Dialogue and Development celebrates not only the richness of the world's cultures, but also the essential role of the intercultural dialogue for achieving peace and sustainable development. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
Up next is Sports Update with Olumide Egunsola.
Football-loving Nigerians are still reacting to the 2 international friendly matches played by the Super Eagles against Saudi Arabia and Mozambique. While decrying the results of the matches, they urged the coach to correct flaws noticed ahead of other international engagements. Super Eagles' 3-2 win against Mozambique is the first since 2019.
Forget about the win. I think if we actually
performed this way going into the AFCON, believe you me, we are in trouble.
Nigeria is not ready and we are not serious. The coach himself is not happy and all Nigerians are not happy with the situation.
What I'll just say to Super Eagles is for them to put in more effort, do more of teamwork, do more of good preparation. Good preparation prevents poor performance.
From the Nigeria Premier League, Week 4 actions take center stage this weekend across designated stadia in the Federation. Table toppers Benden Insurance will play away to Gombe United. Same for Shooting Stars of Ibadan, that will be the guest of Aqua United among other matches. In grassroots football development, a goal in each half of a 90-minute encounter was all the host football team of Owu Baptist Church, Abeokuta, needed to win the friendly match against their counterparts from Ibara Baptist Church, which was part of activities of the 120th anniversary of the church. In another development, a golfer, Dr. Adeshola Falaye, is galvanizing efforts to combat cancer in children under the auspices of For the Love of Golf Season 4. She's leading her team to impact the lives of children living with cancer to tame the tide of death associated with cancer in children.
Like everybody has said, it's a death sentence, but then you can still help to make them comfortable while they're going through that. And there have been cases where they're actually cured.
When you think about cancer treatment, you think For the Love of Golf as a solution to ensuring that your ward or the patient gets affordable treatment.
In tennis, 20-year-old local favorite Shintaro Mochizuki, ranked 215th in the world, cruised into the quarterfinal of Japan Open for the first time after he eliminated defending champion Taylor Fritz 0-6, 6-4, 7-6 in the second round of the event. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
And that concludes Panorama. Thank you for watching. I am Nolin Ebel Ame. Good afternoon.